Okay, so how to grow your outdoors YouTube channels by not setting fake goals. Now, what do I mean by fake goals? You hear a lot about goal setting. Everybody talking about goal setting, stinking goals. Often what I see when people talk about setting goals, they're not setting goals at all. They're setting goals based on something that they hope will happen. You can't set goals that way because it may happen or it may not. Hope for outcomes is not goal setting. Case in point, I want to have 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That's not a goal, that's a hoped for outcome. I want to have 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That's not a goal, that's a hoped for outcome. It may happen, it may not. An example of a goal is, I'm going to produce 3 to 4 videos a week for the next 5 years, monitor the results, and make changes as I need to. That's a goal. You can actually do that. In other words, people often set goals based on things that they can't even control. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of YouTubers fail, is that they're focusing on all the wrong things. All they care about are views and subscribers, when you don't have any control over who's going to look at your video, or when, or where, or how, or by what means. The only thing you can control is the quality and the quantity of your content. You can improve the quality of your content by learning about motion picture, like how to shoot video that doesn't suck, start learning about film production or TV production, incorporating some of those hard-won lessons. You can improve quality that way, even with cheap gear. You can improve the quantity of your videos by just cranking out more videos. If you're only cranking out 1 video a month, start cranking out 1 a week. If you're doing 1 a week, do 2 or 3 a week. You can increase the quality of your videos another way by doing lots of search engine optimization to find out what people want to know about and shoot videos based on those things that people are typing in. Thus, you hear me talk about TubeBuddy all the time. I've gleaned these things over the course of many years, one of which is goals must not be hoped for outcomes. That's number one. I got that from How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. He talks about this in there, about people who want to, particularly with regards to businesses who, we want to generate this many sales because of this video. Well, I don't know how many sales this video is going to generate. All right. Now, there's nothing wrong. Yes, businesses need to have some sales targets, but you don't know if you're going to hit those targets or not. Those are just hoped for outcomes, right? But what you can do is say, okay, I'm going to shoot this video from the perspective of the customer who's unboxing this video, unboxing this product and using it for the first time and trying to figure out how to get it done and showing how this product is going to change their life. That's something you can do. Whether or not it's going to make sales or not, you have no idea. That's why you're making the video and you're measuring what's going to happen. I think I'm totally underexposed now. Jim Collins, who wrote Great by Choice, goals, you need to have upper and lower limits to your goals. Okay, if you're going to climb Mount Everest, you got to climb a certain number of feet a day, or else over a certain period of time, or else you're just not going to achieve the goal. If you're going to walk to the South Pole, as he says, you're probably going to have to walk 15 or 20 miles a day. If I'm going to be successful at YouTube, I got to put out a certain number of videos per week. My goal is 3 to 4 videos per week. Now, I've been under that a little bit. It's not about setting the bare minimum. It's not about bare minimum thinking. Identifying the minimum that it's going to take for you to be successful, for you to gain any kind of traction, for you to, at the very least, maintain whatever kind of momentum you have, or else you just won't move forward. For me, that's at least 2 videos a week. If I don't get at least 2 videos a week out, I'm moving backward. If I get 2 videos a week out, I can kind of hold steady. If I get 3 to 4 videos a week out, I can kind of grow. Now, the channel is growing, but it's growing at a little bit lesser rate because I've only been getting out a couple of videos since I took spring break off. And so we're kind of reorienting in things. So for me, it's often 2 to 4 videos a week that I continue to settle on. A minimum of 2 videos a week, a maximum of 4 videos a week. Here's why you have maximum limits, so you won't burn out. Have you ever heard of YouTubers burning out? Well, it's not any different than burning out in anything else. Generally, people burn out because they're doing too much and they're not setting limits and they're not scheduling in rest times. For me, The last half of December, I'm taking off. Week of 4th of July, I'm taking off. Week of my birthday, I'm taking off. It's about 4 weeks a year that I'm not producing any content. It's vital for me to do that. And I may even increase that to more like 6 weeks, all right? It just depends. I have to be intuitive about it. You know, I've lived a good bit of life, so I just know where my limits are. With YouTube, the easiest way is the number of videos you'll produce per week. For me, it's 2 to 4, preferably 3 to 4, but there's times in the year where I'm kind of falling back to more like 2 to 3 videos a week as opposed to 3 to 4. It depends on how many products I have to get shipped out, which is one of the reasons why I'm wanting to shut down the fishing tackle portion so I can do more of this, because in order to grow the channel, I got to get more content out and more of the content that you guys want to watch. Number 3 is you got to have a medium time frame. This is also from Jim Collins, Great by Choice. Go read, just go find that book somewhere. The time frame you set to accomplish your goal is too small. You won't give it enough time to grow and to fester and to propagate. If the time frame is too long, then you can also burn yourself out and you're just reaching after wind or something, right? So for me, for instance, you've been hearing me thinking about shutting down the fishing tackle portion. Why? Well, it's been 5 years. I started in 2014, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It is 5. So it's now time to think, okay, it's been 5 years. It's a pretty good bit of time. Not too long, not too short. And what am I seeing? I'm seeing the channel grow, but I'm not seeing the fishing tackle sales grow. What do you think I'm going to do? Based on that, I'll probably shut down the fishing tackle portion, get products that I have out, and I'm going to reorient completely towards monetizing the videos and teaching classes online over on Teachable, things like that. And because according to my Social Blade rating, Social Blade is a great way to kind of check the pulse of your YouTube channel to see what's going on, or any of your social medias. Within about 5 years, they're projecting me to be at about 134,000 subscribers if we keep going, because they're kind of trying to calculate some of that exponential growth in. It's not a guarantee, it's just to kind of give you some idea about where you've been, where you are, and where you might be headed. Just like an accountant would give you future projections in terms of things, the way they do accounting and stuff. You know, 3 months of just pumping out a couple of videos a week ain't gonna cut it. But 10 years of pumping out a couple of videos a week is probably too long a time frame. It would be great to say, okay, for the next 2 years, I'm gonna crank out 3 videos a week religiously, right? And I'll probably take off maybe a month out of every year, some time off to refresh and regenerate. See, now you have a medium time frame, you know, about 2 years, and then you say, where is everything? Where was I? Where am I now? And where do I need to change plans? Because the reality is, what you're doing right now on YouTube may not be the thing that brings you ultimate success. Like for me, it's not the fishing tackle, it's the fishing adventures. Well, what if we bought a tricycle like the trike, Shim Beast that I'm calling it, and start adding some bicycle adventures and do more fishing adventures? That's what I'm looking at, the data. That's what people are wanting to watch. Eliminate the stuff that they're not wanting to watch, like talking about cameras and lenses and stuff. They don't really, you know. And that leads to the 4th one. You need to monitor the data points and make changes as necessary. YouTube gives you more data than anything I've seen in my life. You have to check that data. Now, you don't need to be checking data every day. About once a month, you can come back and check it. And I'll glance over a few things every month. But you got to give these videos time to get out there and to circulate and to see how people are reacting to it over time. So since 2014, if I look back to 2019, which videos have done the best? Product review videos. Like the #1 video is still what I did with that mud motor when I first bought it and reviewed it. Recently, the #1 video has been when I did the little video about that trike. Whenever I make a fairly big purchase and review it, that's what gets a lot of traction, except when I did this camera. I bought the GH4 and I started doing a lot of camera stuff. Nobody watched that because you guys don't care about cameras. even though it's YouTube and it's always about the camera. For some reason, people don't care about it. Okay, great. How can we incorporate more product reviews? Well, you just saw I did the microphone review. Now I've got a bunch of Chinese companies want me to review their microphones, and I don't really need. But what if we can do the same for some fishing tackle? What if we can do the same for some of the components that I'm going to upgrade on my trike? What if we can upgrade the motor even a little bit more and keep doing that? Those are always been classic. Although these videos here don't get the greatest views, they generate a lot of conversation. That's another data point. How conversant are people? Are they talking to you? Are they chatting? Are they saying, man, this is great information. Man, this is so helpful. Sometimes that's more important than the views you're getting, because particularly on this channel, the how to do YouTube type stuff, particularly to outdoorsmen, fishermen, mountain bikers, anybody who's doing outdoors, I want to teach what I've learned here on YouTube so that you can go out and start your own YouTube channel, outdoors-based YouTube channel. There's not too many people teaching this specifically for outdoorsmen, because what we do is far more difficult, because it takes time to get out to the river. It takes time you can't climb Mount Everest every day, right? It takes time. So how do you get the traction you need, even though you can't get on the river every day? That's something I'm going to continue to explore, and I have some ideas and testing some things, and I've noticed a few things that I want to begin to share. So those are the 4 things you need to keep in mind about setting goals. For one, your goals cannot be hoped for outcomes. They need to be things you can actually do. The goals need to have lower and upper limits. The third thing is you need a medium time frame, not too short, not too long, and that's going to be different for every one of you depending on your current life. If you're someone who just retired, you're going to have more time, and you could probably keep this going for much longer than someone you're married, you got kids, you're trying to go back to school, you're trying to, you may not be able to do this for more than a year at a time before you really sort of rethink how you want to. Fourth thing is you got to monitor the data points and make changes as necessary. And don't be afraid to make changes. And when you make the changes, go ahead and make them and get them done with. That's all I got. I'm going fishing tomorrow. Kind of tired of sitting here at the house doing talking head videos.